Hello, everybody. Okay, we are back with Amazing Marvin. It has been about a week of me testing it. Apologies for my last video. The audio was all wonky, all kinds of issues, but we're back. And let me just say real quick, this is not sponsored by Amazing Marvin. I wish it was. Holler at your girl. But so this is going to sound sponsored though, because I love this app so much. And we are going to talk about it. Why do I'm listening to music, but we're going to talk about this app in depth and why I love it and why it's so great. And, you know, I'm going to go feature by feature of things I love. It's probably going to get long, probably going to get like real, you know, whatever. But just know if you're here and you're wondering if Amazing Marvin is a fit for you, just keep in mind, like if you don't have problems with your current task managers or your current project managers and you're doing just fine, you always complete your task for the day, you never get in your own way, you always cross things off and get things done, then like you probably don't need an advanced app. Like you're doing just fine. You're probably just, you just keep doing what you're doing, you know, like things are going well. I would recommend Marvin for people who have tried everything. Hi, me. I've tried Todoist, To Do, Taskade, Notion, ClickUp, Aura, Freedcamp, you name it, I've tried it. ZenKit, every single, the only one I haven't tried is Things 3, and that's because the price kept me a little bit from it, and I just saw so many videos and didn't see anything revolutionary about it, so that's the only one that is outside my realm of I can speak about. So, Amazing Marvin. So, if you've tried all of them and you still cannot find something that works for you, I would highly recommend Marvin. It feels like coming home. In all of the years of productivity and all the years of my studying and reading the books and all of the things, it finally feels like everything is together in one app. So if that's what you were wondering and that's why you're here, that's all you need to know. Let me dive into my current love letter to Amazing Marvin. Okay. And then I'll show you my whole setup. I don't mind. You guys can see all my stuff, all my goals, all my tasks, all my everything. Like that phases me absolutely none. So, only because, and I'm just pulling up my notes here. Only because I am still keeping, for now, only because all 500 tasks are in there. All of my client stuff in ClickUp. Only because sometimes I have to CC them in or bring them in or share it with them, with clients and stuff. And Marvin doesn't have that feature, which I'm fine with. And they're open that Marvin is a personal task manager, not a like group client thing. So, yeah. Okay, let me just move so it's just more focused on the like app itself. We will get to it. So let me just get into a little background, a little more than the last video. Sorry, that was a little rusty. Anybody who saw it. I saw an ad for Amazing Marvin a long time ago. I think it was on Facebook or something. And at the time, I was not paying for any productivity apps. I was like, I don't need them. I have planners. I'm fine. And then my business was growing. And I was like, okay, I need to start like organizing this. This is like out of control. And I have so many clients and all these things. So, you know, I think Amazing Marvin's like $12 a month, and I started with like, okay, Todoist, $4 a month, then ClickUp for $9 a month, and then Notion for $5, and then I needed to see my whole week at a glance, so then To Do for like $24 a year. Very quickly, it became like $30 a month for all of them to manage it all. And that's just like to manage my own productivity, much less managing like everything, like all the business apps I have to pay for, Calendly and all the other it's like $100 a month. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, for everything, it's insane. So, too much. And having to work between like 9 different apps to make them all work and play together, depending on how like I like to work, craziness. So, anyway, I was once again going down my Google deep rabbit holes of like, okay, what best productivity apps, because it still wasn't working for me. All of them together, why I was using 12 apps at the same time, not working for me. Crazy. But I came across an interview with the founder of Amazing Marvin, who talked more about the psychology behind Amazing Marvin and how she like developed it to really help people who are managing so much. It's like all of the good methodologies together. It's not a task manager, it's like, you know, I wrote down here that's like, if you want just a task manager, Todoist, boom, great, check it off, go. You want a project manager, cool, ClickUp, sick, great. You want like a little toasted marshmallow life coach, you'd come to Marvin, okay? And maybe that's dramatic, but that's how it feels, and we'll get into all the features on why. But I saw the interview, and that's what convinced me, because it finally made sense. Like, Amazing Marvin is not just like, you need some black and white, binary, very clear as day task manager. Although it would do that, but like, this is like putting like GTD, Eat the Fraud, all of the legendary, the 7 habits, all of the legendary productivity systems into harmony together finally. That's like the only way I can describe it. So, you know, I wrote it, like, it feels like a friend who helps you plan your day versus a system that beats you up immediately. And that's because at a certain point, and this is because I'm doing a lot, and I think a lot of people have like better grip on everything, but I'm, you know, still a small company owner, and I haven't outsourced too much yet. One day when I like hire everything out, I'll be fine. But as of now, I'm doing everything myself. And logging in to like Todoist and ClickUp every day and seeing your 20 overdue tasks makes the apps not fun. It makes it start to be stressful. You start to have like a sinking feeling in your stomach when you log in, because it's just like it's just every day, like, you failed. And I know this is where, like, you know, the daily review and all the important things come into play. I understand the methodology, so Todoist fans, don't come for me, okay? I paid for like half a year for them, okay? But I get it. You know, but at a certain point, you stop checking the tools, because you feel like every single time you log in, you're like, okay, great, I'm behind every day. Amazing Marvin doesn't do that. It will tell you that you missed some tasks the day before, but it just gently suggests that you reschedule or unschedule them completely. Instead of just like overdue in red every time you log in. It's like, hey, like, that's okay, you missed some stuff. Like, let's, you know, just reschedule. I love this little toasted marshmallow alien truffle. I love him so much. Also, there is a learning curve. Like I said, I've only been doing this for a week. There's a learning curve. Like some other apps, I've probably watched, I don't even want to know how many videos on Todoist workflows. Probably like 100 hours now. ClickUp, don't even get me started on ClickUp. That thing is a giant mess of like, I never worked in the corporate world. I've just been a entrepreneur, freelancer for 10 years now. So like, that learning curve is not intuitive to me. But the beautiful thing about Amazing Marvin that I'm obsessed with is, like, you know, I wrote down that instead of having to go outside of the tool to learn how to use it, which I've had to do for Todoist and ClickUp and Notion. Oh, Notion's another one. I've had to spend 500 hours watching Notion videos to understand how to do it. Inside Marvin will teach you how to do it. Like, the app itself teaches you how to use it. Which I'm obsessed with. I don't have to leave Marvin to figure out how to use Marvin. And that's such, I mean, you know, I'm having fun watching YouTube videos, but it's not the same. It teaches you how to use it. Okay. Now let's dive into some of my favorite things. You know, that it lets me get things done how I get things done, and not how every single app wants you to get things done in the way that the founder's methodology they believe in, right? Like, I know the founder of Todoist believes in like simplicity and all the things. Cool dude, follow him on Twitter. Like, you know, that's just what he believes in. So that's how his apps work. And Marvin is instead like, hey, you may work in like 100 different ways. You find what works for you and it will adjust. If I had started using this like a year or two ago when I had discovered the ad, I could have saved, let's not even go into it. Okay, I could just save 100 hours. Okay, so some of my favorite features on the technical stuff. Now, this was one I just discovered in the Facebook group, which is huge. As soon as you sign up for your 30-day trial, that you get a link to the Facebook group. kindest people ever, including the founder. Super nice. I get my questions answered in like 20 minutes. It's wild. Obsessed. And so nice. But one of the nice people in there just taught me this, because one of my favorite features about Todoist was when you're done with the day, it says like, okay, great, you're done, log off, like go live your life, right? It's like this blank screen of like, go be free. Okay. And in Marvin, here's a fun little tip. You just do underscore, you add a task in that bottom right. I think it should have shown that hang on, let me just, as I have all of my tabs open right now. Sorry, down there. Maybe if I made my screen smaller, it will. It does not want to fit in the app. It's fine. There we go. Anyway, in the bottom right, that little box is a plus sign, and then you can add a task. Maybe even smaller. Cool. Sorry, guys. I'm still learning how to like record. Anyway, I'm a copywriter, not a YouTuber. So anyway, underscore celebrate, and this pops up. Because it doesn't have like an end of the day, like you're done, don't be free feature. But you can do that to be like, okay, I'm done, I did it. So I'm gonna do that every single day now, instead of, especially for people I think in the entrepreneur space. Once you see that your task list is done, you're like, great, let me start hacking away at my other list that I have to do, right? Like you want to just stress yourself out and keep going and never end. I do want to say, I don't think. It may have just been like the last week was just like a very calm week, but for the first time in my life, every single night I was shut down at like a decent hour, which is a first ever. At like 8 p.m. every night I was, which for me is decent. I was done and like got to enjoy my night. Is it Marvin? Was it my schedule? I don't know. We'll keep going. This is only my first week. Anyway, obsessed with this feature. So there's that. And then my other favorite thing is like some days I want complexity, and some days I want to see 100,000 moving parts at once, and some days I don't. And Marvin lets me decide what I want to do. So here's a daily thing. Right now, keep in mind, I turned everything on because I've read every productivity book, and I've read it with I've played with every tool. So when it came to all of the strategies you saw in my last video, I was like, turn them all on, everything on, because I want to play with every feature. But I liked software. I love playing with new software. So if you're not a person who loves to play with new software, don't do that. Don't do that. I just went through here and like clicked on to like every single thing possible, almost, you know. But if you're just getting your toes wet, like don't do that. Start nice and slow, go step by step, whatever you want. But I love it. I love that stuff. So that's just me. And okay, like I said, the community, the Facebook group is huge. But oh yeah, some days I want complexity and some days I don't. So if I don't want complexity, I can just go to this list and make it very simple and make it easy. And I can fill all these out or not. These are things I've turned on. So I have a note for the day. Daily targets, I said like, okay, this is just me working on my deep work. I want 2 hours of focused deep work every day. So when I start a timer here, like here, and I start, let's just say, now let's just throw that off a little bit, but like if I'm tracking my time here, which all of them have, you can just hit play as like, and then I'll start here of like counting it. I only went for like 5 seconds, so it didn't. But, and then if I want to go like, okay, I want to make some progress on some projects. All of my projects pull up and it shows me how many days I have left and how far I am into them. I am upset. I can't believe this is not a feature on all of them. I could scream at how much time I've wasted on all these other stupid apps. So, just to put it lightly. Yeah, I mean, some of them are 100% and they're not because I just haven't like imported it. It's only been a week, guys. But this is insane. And I could just like click, okay, like let's make progress on this one today. Cool. And then like it just pops, like I can like, and then it pulls it up. You know, if I want to get working on, I just have like one task forward right now, but what are you going to work on today? And then you can pick a theme. I haven't set these up yet. Love it. But like, it's up to me. If I want these to be all complex for the day, which I love, because every single app is either like full complexity or pure simplicity, and there is no middle ground. And sometimes I want a little bit of both. Sometimes I'm ready to tackle a high level view of all of my projects, and sometimes I'm not. And Marvin's like, you do you, boo. Like, we're just here. Here are the options. This is a goal I have. I gotta finish my content calendars for my main YouTube channel. Whenever I'm just like ready to start, I love that I can just hit Pomodoros and off we go. Like, we start the Pomodoro cycle. This is so cute. Like I said, the other apps want to just berate you for being like, oh my god, overdue, you're so bad at managing your time. But this little Marvin just meets you with like the cutest UI. I don't know what these are called, like little characters. I'm obsessed with them, like every single one. I'm a sucker for cute little characters UI. I don't know what these are all called, like graphic design. I don't know. It's not my world. But like, even like, look how cute that is. These are so adorable. Obsessed. I'm a sucker for it. It's the only reason I've been able to keep like a 365-day like streak in Duolingo, because it's just cute UI. Like, something about it. But when you go into here and you plan your day, I am so obsessed with this. You guys, I know this sounds sponsored. I swear it's not. But it will, like, okay, you can go down to the tasks and put a time estimate. Okay, how many videos does this need? That'll take like 10 minutes. And and as you can see on the right hand side of each task, right there when I go away, it fills in. Okay, like, good. Like how much time it takes. And then this fills up. This all right here, this little bar will tell you how many hours, like, I've never had something do that in my life. I am horrendous at assuming at how much I can get done in a day. I always think I can get 50 tasks done in a day. And some days I do. Some days I drink a lot of energy drinks and and I've seen my to-do-list checklist and I've gotten up to like 72 tasks in a day. Very tiny tasks, but like lots of them. So keeping that in mind, it's very hard for me to get like 5 tasks done in a day and feel like okay about myself. So this is why Marvin is a life coach. So being able to be like, okay, this task is going to take hours. Like, it's going to take 2 or 3 hours to get it done, you know. And then it just shows you your whole day and when you're hitting your limits of like, okay, your schedule's full now. Like, that's good. Maybe some of the other apps did it. I couldn't find it. Like, none of them said like, okay. And I agree with them. I think it's like they ballparked about 6 hours as a full day, which, I mean, studies show that, you know, knowledge workers only get like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours of like really focused work done a day, which is so true. And I love it. And it keeps track of your average. Like, okay, here's your average. So you can know where you're at and know how much you averagely you get done in a day on average. And obviously I'm just, you know, starting with Marvin. So I'm sure this will move around as we go. But like, you guys, this is the craziest feature. I've like just seen like only so many tasks in a day. Like right now, let's see, 4, 8 with a few subtasks. And that would stress me out. Like, that doesn't feel like enough, right? Like, that doesn't feel like I'm getting enough done for what I need to get done. But then I come up here and it's like, Marvin's like, girl, you're hitting your limits. Like, that's it. Like, that is a whole day of work. Okay. I told you guys this is going to probably get long, but let me dive into it. Okay. Let me just dive into my other notes. So, like I said, it is eating up all of my other apps. I've already downgraded pretty much every other app I use. You know, Notion I'm still debating only because it is, and even the founder was like, okay, we can't really like replace Notion. That's more of like a database notes kind of app. Like, it's a whole different ballpark. Which, respect for being like, you know, I think there's a lot of apps who are like, we can do everything. And it's like, can you though? So Notion I'm still debating, but like, all of them I took down to the free tier because I'm like, What do you do that Amazing Marvin can't do for me at this point, right? Oh, my other favorite option, let me show you in here. If I'm struggling on, okay, this little one, I just added them in here so I could show some cute little things. Film the Amazing Marvin video, right? You go into, okay, I think it should show this little exclamation point right there. And, okay, maybe it's just I don't work with anybody and I don't have this in my like actual day-to-day life, which is why it's so nice. But Marvin will coach you through why you don't want to do it, right? Like, okay, take a deep breath. Like, why do you want to do this task? Okay. Brings me closer to a goal. Like, okay, sure, I want more YouTube subs. Like, great. Okay, and then you can just click here, like, I'm ready to start on it when you're ready. Great, and then it just talks you through, like, you can read it all. Here, I'll make my screen just a little bit smaller. But you can see it talks you through why, like, I can't believe, this is insane. Like, this is just a little thing that I was like, oh, that's cute. But then I couldn't believe how many eat the frog hard tasks I have gotten through in the last week because I talked it out with Marvin. You know, like, okay, like, it is a good next step. Or I'm questioning whether I should do this next. Like, yeah, sure, it's a good next step. How long will it take? You know, we've been filming for 20 minutes now, probably with editing. Like, okay, that's a nice chunk of time. Like, so you can just keep going, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to start. And then he just encourages you, like, you got this. And then you can say, great, I finished. You guys, don't tell me this is not the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life. Can I just, like, sell my kidney and get, like, the lifetime subscription already because I'm in love with this app? You guys, this is not even paid, and I don't rave this much. I've been in the review space for a long time, in the tech review space, and I do not do glowing reviews. I am mean at best. And oh, another thing I love is that they don't put any additional features behind another paywall. Almost every single app looking at you, click up, which is still an okay app. It's still a good app. But, like, every single time like, timeline, right? I just discovered the other day that we only get 100 uses of timeline. And I've looked at it like 99 times now. And if I look at it one more time, I have to pay another upgraded tier. There is no tier. This is the tier. You get everything. There are no, you know, I was asking the group, like, are there any project limits? Are there any test limits? Like, I know Todoist has limits. You know, all of them have limits of some kind. And they were like, no. That's insane. And I don't want to overload it and, like, be a complete crazy person, you know, and, like, as I do with all of my apps and just upload them to, like, 2,000 tasks. But just knowing that I could confidently put my entire content calendar, which is, like, you know, 150, like, blog ideas into it, and not hit some arbitrary limit and not have to just, like, pay because I want this one feature. You guys, for anybody who's been in this space long enough, you know how annoying that is when you just want one extra thing and they're like, oh, great, another $5 a month. You want that? That's cool. And you're like, oh my God, please just leave me alone. Okay, diving into some other features. I told you y'all this was not that long, but I have a lot to say. Okay, over here. Now, I'm not sure how to turn, like, everything on and off. If you see something cool, you may have to figure it out yourself. Or just ask me. That's cool. I will try and figure it out. But, and it's slow because of my computer. My computer is 10 years old. It is not slow because Amazing Marvin is slow. Let me be clear. Also, I've had Todoist and Notion go down 4 times between them in the last month on a Monday for hours. This is where I really got sold on this. I have not had a single glitch with Amazing Marvin yet. I've entered tasks into ClickUp that just disappeared. It made me want to die inside. Is that a little dramatic? But, like, yeah, sometimes when it's client work, I cannot have things disappearing when it's something I have to do for a client. Like, I just can't. Like, this is my business. Okay. Another favorite feature I love. Now, a lot of them, I'm just, like, putting in some, like, ideas of things I want to work on. Here is what I love, right? And I don't care. Y'all can see everything. See the little exclamation, or the little, like, warning sign, the little red thing? It just means it's missing a next step. That is so big for me because sometimes nothing else will tell you like, okay, hey, you have nothing scheduled to like make progress on this project. Not that I have found. And it, like, I just love that I can come, this is just the master list, and it will tell me that I need to schedule something. Like this is a project and it needs next step. You guys, this is, I told you this is a love letter to Amazing Marvin. That is such a small thing, but for someone, and this is only like a mild fraction of like, I mean, look at this like whole whiteboard of like projects I'm currently working on. This is huge. I've never seen something so amazing. And just knowing like, okay, I don't have something scheduled for this. Okay, cool. Another feature I love. Let's see. Okay. No, not that. Oh, I also love that it gives you in this master list on the left here. Oh, wait, let me move my face. Hang on. Do you see how the 72 days? Like, that's just a fitness program I'm doing right now. I just put in there to be like, okay, you know, tester projects. And just showing me my deadline of upcoming, like, what is around the corner. That is the biggest thing that I'm always doing. Like, what is coming around the corner? What deadlines do I have? Etc., etc. And just having that there, like, I'm teaching a copywriting course right now. That's when it ends. I have 19 days to wrap this up and finish this. You guys, internal streaming. I need, like, an Amazing Marvin tattoo already. Like, this is how much I seriously, there are no words for how much I love this app. Okay. I'll start talking faster before this turns into an hour-long video. Cool. Videos. Yeah, every feature has like a description or a video so you can understand, because it teaches you how to use itself, which is absolutely incredible. I love that the dark theme comes in and you go up here. Hang on, let me go to my... like I said, that's my computer. That's not Marvin being slow. That's all. Just every website's a little slow these days on my computer. You can set your work hours, date and time, theme. Here it is. Also love that the themes are not hidden behind another paywall. That's a thing where it's like, oh, you can't get this without paying us like X amount a month. I love that. Right below here, I'm not to show because it shows my absolutely exact location. But you can show your dark theme after sunset, and it does it. It does it. My computer is 10 years old, and so many of these apps want to depend on your computer to say, like, it's nighttime mode, which my computer doesn't have because it's old. And Amazing Marvin just does it based on where I am and the time zone, not just like, okay. Anyway. It's so small, but for me, it is so big. I can't believe how intuitive this is. Yeah, it implements all the famous tools. Like also right here, as you can see on YouTube content calendar, right there, there's a little fraud symbol. That's an eat the fraud. That means that's a hard task I've been putting off for a long time, which the exclamation points on the left of it mean that I haven't done it in 2 days. Like each day you miss it, it like adds up until you get like probably 1 million. But that's just so nice to be like, okay, yesterday was a really bad, I was sick yesterday, which is why everything has an exclamation point pretty much. But little things, the little things, you guys. I also love the stars right here. So you can see like on the left here of this one. So you can see what is a important task, and along with the little fire symbol over on the right hand side where you can see how many days left, and it's due in 3 days. Great. Cool. I need to learn some of the keyboard shortcuts, which I'll maybe make another video about because there's a lot that will help, I think, make it better. For Todoist, I have like a little sticky on my computer that has like all of the shortcuts, which I've just found I have to do for every single app. I may just print out their whole keyboard shortcut and just paste it on my computer. Another few favorite things I love that I'm using obsessively are the weekly reviews, which pop up on Fridays. So, there it is. And then it tells me, which I made this list, so I don't have to, I had to do this like written every week, or I had like a Notion template that would walk me through it. But I love just putting that in my day, right? Here's like everything I need to do to review my week, and how long it takes, how many subtasks there are. You guys, I have never loved. Oh, also my favorite thing that really sold me, because like I said, the UI thing, the dancing Marvin is I've made him huge and I've made him loud. I don't think the sound will pick up on my computer, but maybe. But I have made him huge, and I've made the confetti, and I also just leveled up, which is a little bit of a cheat, just made a task to do it, which I love up there. Which is each level at a time of all the different things I can unlock. And I'm so curious. I love that kind of stuff. It's one of the reasons I love Todoist, is because you have the karma points, and as you grow up and like do more, it doesn't give you anything. I think you can unlock a theme at Enlightened or something, which is cool. But I love that you can unlock features. I am dying to know what they all are. I don't want to know. Oh, see, and now it's like, click for demo. It's just so intuitive. It's very, very brilliant. I don't know anything about code. This is way outside my realm, but they clearly know human behavior. And I am absolutely in love with it. Okay. Almost done, guys. I promise. Cool. Weekly review, Dancing Marvin, which I love. The level up. A huge fan of leveling up. That is such a big thing for me. I love the Pomodoros are in here. I would have to, okay, my old workflow, which I won't get too much into, but like I'd have to open up Todoist, figure out my like most important tasks today, set the label, set the filter, set the things, open up the Pomodoro, like a website with a Pomodoro on it, and then hit start, and then go back to Todoist, and then like worked on the tasks in order. And I can just, I literally could unfavorite like 15 different websites because Amazing Marvin has it. And I can just I don't have to go anywhere to manage my life. It's here. It's a home. Okay, obsessed. Anyway, all right, a few other favorite features, and then, you know, I probably should have broken this up into like different parts of it, which I will, but the goals, which is here, I have enabled. Here is the progress, where I'm at, and what my expected progress is. So I can see I'm ahead of schedule. This is huge. When I have all of my projects in here and goals, which I'm going to immediately because I've decided I'm fully committing into Marvin 100%. This is the only reason I was paying for ClickUp, like the advance of like seeing the high level like status of all your goals, which is annoying, you have to pay for, but that's fine. But days left, when was the last time I like worked on it? And then when you go into it for each of the tasks, which also appear on your daily to-do list when they're scheduled, which like these are right now, when you hover over them, it reminds you why you said it's important. The psychology is okay, because up here you fill out a commitment contract, which I don't care if y'all see. I've got to finish my YouTube content calendars. How important is it? How difficult? I want to do this because you know, blah blah blah. I anticipate the following challenges, like, you know, all the and then I commit. And you fill this out with every goal, right? And how important it is, and you can go back and edit it anytime. But it tells you right there why it's important. So when I go back to my day view and I need to check that off, look at it's there. It reminds you why that's important. Like, this is such a little thing, and I know it sounds so little, but it just is insane. You know, like I said, okay, and the app, you never feel like the app is shaming you for what you've done or not. I have a daily goal up here of like, and you can set these points to rewards. Like, you know, I love to video game. So if I wanted to set like, okay, after 20 points, I did to play like an hour or something. However, and you set it up how you want. It doesn't tell you what your rewards and your point system is. You tell it what you want and it does it. And love. Which is a person who has a hard time rewarding herself. huge. Huge. I never feel like I do enough, and I never feel like I can get a break. And that alone, I can't wait to dive into. Like I said, no bugs. I've not had a single bug with this app yet. I'm sure other people have. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect. I just have not encountered anything, and it hasn't drawn down yet, which for me is huge. I can't have an app not working for me on a Monday morning. Not for hours. I have things to do. Let's see. Okay, time estimates. Yes. I love that once I learn a feature, it feels very intuitive. Like I remember how to use it. I don't have to keep looking it up. Unlike things like Notion, I feel like I have to keep looking up what I've learned. And also the last thing, and I swear I am done, is right here on Today view. You go to the right here. You click. You enable this. You know, it's not like you have to pick this, but you can get a random task. Great. And then it just picks a random task for you in your whole day. If you're stuck and you're overthinking it and you're like, oh my God, what should I work on? There's so many things. It just says, do this one. Anyway, it's just such little things, but I had no idea how much the little things really, 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 really mattered in my overall enjoyment of my day and my productivity. You can also see your stats on how many things. I told you yesterday was like a real bad day. But like this month, you can see your stats, and you can see like your time tracking, and you can see your reward points, and you can see the Marvin kudos. Anyway, that is it. That is my first week of Marvin. I am so crazy about it. A few apps have I decided like within the first week of the 30-day trial that I was fully committing and giving them my credit card. But here we go. So I'm obviously not going to show that on YouTube, but like that's it. If you're, you want to, this is really in-depth and long, and sorry about that, but if you're really deciding, that is everything I love about it so far. I will make more videos because I think I'm really going to make this like a recurring feature on this channel of Amazing Marvin, how I'm using it, my setup, little things here and there that I've learned or noticed. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, guys.